Hello, dear sister. I am so happy and privileged to be doing this reading for you. Thank you so much. My intention for this reading is to bring in the highest messages from love, from the divine, and from your spirit babies, and mostly to help expand you into a new way of living and a new way of being. It's sort of a privilege to be able to do a reading for someone who's been on Lauren's site because you know the language and you know what we're doing. But there's a doorway here for you, sister. There is a doorway for you here right now, and you are being invited to walk through it. So everything we've been waiting for when it comes to ascension and all that stuff, there's no more waiting. I don't know if you've seen my most recent video update on Lauren's site, but I have been able to walk through that door to the divinity, and it looks so much different than I thought and so much better. So I'm so happy we're doing this because this is an invitation for you to also walk through this door. Also, take to heart when women have a reading with me, it's an indication that a certain portion of your life is done and over. And now it's the time to step into your new and your true life. So this reading is really all about that, dear sister. It's about putting the past to rest, seeing how it's all been appropriate, even in its challenges, knowing that it's truly done and over, and stepping into your divine limitlessness, dear sister. So I don't know what your background is, what you think about source, spirit, or whatever. I have been calling it the Divine Mother since the eclipse last August. I met the Divine Mother, realized it was like being reunited with the Divine Mother, and then just this past year, it's all been about truly surrendering to her fully, and it's been truly amazing and not what we've been thinking, but yet everything we've been thinking, just more. So this is what's open to you today, sister. So bear with me. We're going to work through all your things. I've pulled some cards for you, but mostly this is about stepping into your expanded life, your true life, and putting your tortured past to rest. So where to start? Okay, I'm going to start with the very first card I pulled. And contrary to what it said in your email, I pulled the Sun card. And it actually fell out as I was shuffling from the past reading I did, so I put it back in. I'm like, well, I don't know if that's for her. You know, we're feeling a girl, so I'm just going to put it back in. So I put it back in, and it was the very first one that I pulled. So I did pull the Sun card, and then I pulled your other cards, and then I read your email again, and I'm like, well, you know, the daughter energy feels very strong. So I just said, does the daughter energy want to say anything? And I pulled the daughter card. So this could mean a couple of things. If you've watched some of my pre-reading links, that you know that, you know, different timelines have different possibilities. So which one are we tapping into? We could be tapping into a timeline where you have a future son and daughter, which is absolutely very, very likely when you're stepping into the higher life, into the limitless divine. So you could have two children that are waiting to come to you, or the soul that has been with you this time is not sure if he or she's gonna come in as a daughter or son yet. So maybe more of that will be revealed as we go on. It sometimes can make itself more clear as the reading goes. So for me, I'm just listening right now to see if I get the indication of two different, or if, and they don't know which order they're going to come in, or if it's one not knowing which gender it's going to be. Okay, well, you know what? I really get the two. I really get the two, and I get the Sun card the strongest right now. I pulled it twice in the very beginning, so that's the one that's coming through right now. And if there is a daughter to be had later, then that could be as well. So what I'm hearing is there is a potential here right now, as you step onto a higher timeline, to bring the Sun in first, and the daughter that you've been feeling would come in after. So we're going to go with that for now because that's what's feeling right for where we're looking right now. But all these difficulties you've been having, dear sister, and I'm sure you know this yourself, from the miscarriages to well, there's so many reasons, but from the repeated miscarriages, from the traumatic birth, and from I'm sorry, I just lost my track of my train of thought. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, and from the torturous thoughts you've been having, that's all stemming back to the abuse that you've sustained from your father. So I know you have been working with a therapist with that, and I'm so glad you have such amazing support. There is an opportunity here right now to really just lay that past behind you. Because as I said at the very beginning, the time to put the past to bed is right now. And dear sister, 2018 is the start of a new true life. So even this miscarriage you're going through right now, it's just residue of the past, but there's also a few other things going on. So yes, the abuse is what made the space for all of this to occur. But you've read my book, so you also know that this is part of the spiritual expansion as well. And yeah, we have been expanding through suffering, but that's over. But that is what you've been doing now. You're not going to have to do that anymore. So with the miscarriages that happen, there is a lot of spiritual growth that happens. There's heart openers. There's priorities that are rearranged and that sort of thing. It's also the baby sort of testing the water. And I get that with this child right now. This miscarriage you're having right now, first of all, led you to this reading, which I hope you will find extremely liberating. But then also the souls of the babies right now will kind of dip in and out, testing the energy and the waters of the earth and what's going on here. I have a video about this. It's called Non-Linear Pregnancy. And the soul will come in for a little while to get used to the energies here. And then retract, make any adjustments needed, and then come back. So that's what this one is very much about. It's this miscarriage, as I'm being shown, is actually incredibly healing, dear sister. So tap into that right now. And it's your son saying this and showing me these pictures, that even as, you know, the blood is coming out and whatever was part of this embryo, I'm sorry if this is too graphic, but I'm being shown that a darkness is coming out too. A lot of trauma from the birth, all the trauma from the abuse is actually coming out with this miscarriage as well. So this is a twofold gift, okay? So because you're going through all of this with your baby, and you know, when there's miscarriages and the baby dipping in and out, you know, that's also karmic clearing of the past on the baby's part and on your part. So this is a gift to, I'm going to say, your son, because he's now able to come in as one of the karma-free, baggage-free, high-vibrational babies, because he was able to dip in and out, get used to this, and the gift for you, dear sister, if you can truly, truly embrace it and know it, as this miscarriage is bringing out, and this is so potent and powerful, it's bringing out all the residue from the past, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, you will not have those thoughts anymore with your daughter after we surrender all this over and after we forgive it. And you will not have this with future children. I'm going to tell you right now too, you will not have difficulty getting pregnant after this. And you will not have another traumatic birth. And you will not have any postpartum psychosis or OCD. That is over. This is over for you right now. And this beautiful, challenging, heartbreaking, heart-expanding miscarriage is a huge part of this for you right now. A true end to all of these cycles. So, dear sister, take all that in because it is huge, and I don't always get information like that in readings. And when I do, I know that it is absolutely a watershed moment for you, your husband, and your life. So, very first off, we just need to honor what is going on for you, that it is part of the plan, part of everything is to just let this come out of you. So I think you're still going through it. As you are still going through it, just surrender it all. And let's see, I'm going to use divine. I don't know if Divine Mother speaks to you, so I'm just going to use divine, and I'm just going to give you an affirmation. So close your eyes, dear sister, and use this affirmation as you are going through this. And I will say Divine Mother because you are a Divine Mother. And let's give homage to the true Divine Mother as well. So, dearest Divine Mother, I now surrender to you the full extent of the gift of this miscarriage. Let everything that is supposed to come out permanently and for good. I know that this is a new beginning into my new life and my true life, where suffering and challenges are a thing of the past. Thank you for this amazing gift. Whew, dear sister, I hope you can feel that because I can feel that. And so I just totally want to honor you for that. Truly honor what you are going through right now. It's huge. This is a huge watershed moment for you. So the very first thing I want to tell you, and I get morning musings, you know, as I'm waking up. First thing in the morning, I'll get musings of, if there's a spirit baby reading on tap, I'll get some information about it. And so you, dear sister, and it came no surprise to me that you played the harp, because you came here in your role as an angel, dear sister. You came here as an angel to be able to withstand the abuse from your father, to put an end to it, and to make a new and true beginning. So one of the cards I pulled for you was healing, healed, healer. So you are a natural born healer, going through this, taking it on, and now healing yourself of it will help heal the past. It will help heal all the timelines. It shows it. It's beautiful. It shows a picture of an angel. I'll show you if you can see that. And it says healing energy surrounds you in this situation. Just so you know, this deck I use is Doreen Virtue's Magical Messages from the Fairies. The fairy energy has a very similar energy to the spirit babies and a lot of the appropriate cards. So I will have my own deck sometime, but I don't have it yet. But in case you're interested, that is the deck. It's again, it's Magical Messages from the Fairies. So you are a healer, and this is being healed in you right now. This is being healed across all lifetimes. There is nothing you need to do except acknowledge the tremendous healing that you're going through right now, and the tremendous role that you took being an angel coming to Earth to take this on, to withstand it, and to heal it and put an end to it and start something new. I'm just wondering where should we go next, because I do want to talk about your harp again, but I think we'll do that towards the end. Okay, so a couple of things we're going to do right now, dear sister, to truly put the past in the past for good, with no looking back. Before I go on there, I just want to talk a little bit more about your traumatic birth. And, you know, about the miscarriages and why it's been so hard for you to get pregnant and all that and all this. It's all linked together. So as we resolve one of them, they're all resolved together in this some lump, you know, and it does go back to the abuse. So, and I knew this upon waking, and it's the second card I pulled. I wasn't surprised because I almost wrote down the law of forgiveness, and then I pulled this. And it's, whom do you need to forgive? Now, this isn't really what you think it is. There's a much, much bigger thing at play right here. And again, there's angels. So, obviously, I'm sure you've worked with this with your therapist and stuff, and forgiving your father and all that, blah, blah, blah. I say blah, blah, blah because you know how many abuse people want to hear that, especially if they've been working on it forever. But whom do you need to forgive is also about forgiving all the miscreations about it. Forgiving this world that we live in, forgiving the separation that we believe in. So I've discovered that ascension really isn't about becoming a superhuman. It's about healing our separation from the divine. And when we heal that separation from the divine, that's when we become divine. All this time I've been waiting for my light body to kick in and my superhuman powers and all this stuff, waiting for it to be given to me. But what has to happen first is that we have to go home into the arms of the divine, and that's when things change. That's when things start to transmute, and that's when things start to pick up. And so when we call in the divine into our lives, everything starts to change. And so that's where we are with you right now. And so with the law of forgiveness, when we call that in, we are forgiving everything that's occurred up until now, even though it was purposeful, because it's what we came here to do. All these stepping stones, painful as they may be, has gotten us to this door of the divine, this door to heaven that is in our hearts. But we don't have to miscreate anymore. So we call in the law of forgiveness. And there's so much more to be said about that. I'm just wondering what direction to take it. Because I really want you to truly see that as much as you want to bring this baby home, the Divine Mother wants you to come home to her. So be open to that, dear sister. In fact, let's open to it right now. Okay, so close your eyes as I say for you. Divine Mother, I am now fully open to know you, to receive your love, and to have you recreate all my miscreations according to your divine love and your divine plan. Because, dear sister, it really is about letting the divine take the lead. This whole time, we talk about our higher selves, and of course, that is a huge part of it. Our higher self is the divine. But when we also understand that there is this huge, immense, loving presence that wants to take care of us, that wants to heal us, that wants to do everything for us and to fulfill our highest desires and our highest wishes, we surrender to that love. So surrender to the love of the Divine Mother, dear sister, because that's what's going to help heal you so that this past is put behind you for good. So when we call in the law of forgiveness, dear sister, it's so strong and it can work almost instantly. So if you have been working on forgiving your father, then I give you tremendous, tremendous love and respect because I know how difficult that is. Now we're just going to forgive the conditions that made your father do such things to you, that makes anyone abuse or attack anyone else. So we're going to call in the law of forgiveness for all people who have experienced abuse, and especially you, okay? And it's so simple, but it's so powerful. So right now, here, dear sister, just close your eyes so you can feel it, as together with the Divine Mother, we call in the law of forgiveness of all types of abuse and attack. We realize that this was a response to believing we were separated from the divine. But we are all innocent, guilty of nothing. And the Divine Mother now recreates according to her divine plan and her divine love. So, dear sister, I'm going to recommend to you now, if all this talk about the Divine Mother and surrendering is a little foreign, if he's a little strange, I started doing something on my website called the Divine Mother Activation, and I'm only doing it in groups of 20. And the first wave is going to be done on March 9th. I close it, so I open it up to 20 women, and then I close it as we do it. But it's a 30-day thing, and it really is all about fully surrendering to the divine. And if you truly, truly want to step into that new and true life, then I recommend this to you. I'm not sure when it'll be available again, sometime later this month. It's $44, so, and there's so much to it. There's so much to it. But the women that have been doing it now are experiencing shifts left and right, healing left and right, and their lives are taking off in whole new directions. So this is what I have been experiencing since my surrender to the divine, and it's been like heaven on earth. I'm not going to say there haven't been moments of challenges. There isn't, but when you're resting in the arms of the Divine Mother, you can handle those challenges so much better. So also, it's so important for you right now to really grasp this and understand this, because you don't have to even go through the ascension symptoms anymore, dear sister. We don't have to go through the ascension symptoms anymore. When I was first starting working on the Divine Mother activation, I was getting headache upon headache. I've had headaches for years. That's been a huge symptom for me. But as I continue to surrender them over, they're less and less, or they just don't get in my way. But I am not experiencing the ascension symptoms like I have before, not even remotely. And so that's one of the things we can experience when we have our divine surrender. Is that's all restored and recreated in a better way. So I say, with any vision that we've had of what our life could be, it pales in comparison to what the Divine Mother has planned for us when we make ourselves a pure vessel for her love. So this is what it looks like, sister. It's about surrendering your personal will and your plan for your life on the altar of the divine and saying, you do it now your way. And there might be a little resistance at first, because that's what we've been taught, to be independent, to do it ourselves. But the relief afterwards is just incredibly palpable. And so, dear sister, in any way that you can, surrender to the divine. Look up my video on Lauren's site if you want. Join the Divine Mother activation, because this is a huge invitation to you to really, really step to something new and true. All right, so getting back to your cards, and whom do you need to forgive? Just call on the law of forgiveness around that situation, around the traumatic birth. Even though it's, it all comes from the same place, the traumatic birth, as you read in my book, you're a catalyst for change in that department. These traumatic births have to end. And with every woman that goes through it and doesn't put up with it, it will come to an end. You don't have to experience that again. In fact, I'm going to give you my Healing Your Traumatic Birth video. I don't even know if I still have it available. I had it for sale for $25, but I still have it. I will send it along to you. So just so you can know the bigger role from that, but that you don't have to do it like that anymore. So we have been warriors this whole time. We have been forerunners and all that, but none of it matters anymore. All we want to do is be seated in the arms of the Divine Mother. And from there, things will change. You will have, and I can say this with confidence when you're in the arms of the Divine Mother, you can conceive easily. You can bring this baby to full term in a joyful, wonderful, guilt-free way. You can have an incredibly, incredibly healing birth experience and a totally different experience of the newborn time and the baby time. You'll have a new experience of your mothering. And we're going to get you there, okay? So we called on the law of forgiveness. Now, this is where I begin. The Divine Mother activation, and I pull this in so many readings. And it says, admit your true feelings to yourself. So, especially those of us who are spiritual, we have learned to take the high road, to overcome, to grin and bear it, to be extremely positive. But I did not get to my divine surrender until I was rage of fire. Both times, dear sister, it took a rage of fire for me to meet the Divine Mother in the August eclipse, and it took waves of rage for me to surrender to the Divine Mother in this latest round. So, and this can be tricky, but I am inviting you to do it, okay? Because even as you are putting an end to the old, and an end to the abuse, an end to the torturous thoughts, which have nothing to do with you personally, with your divinity. If I can give you no other thing, I just want you to say over and over again, I am innocent, guilty of nothing. I am innocent, guilty of nothing. That alone can open huge doors for you. But we do have to also admit our true human feelings of everything we've been through. So I don't know if you have allowed yourself the space to rage and grieve and scream about everything you have endured till now. Because even though your soul and your spirit can handle it, the human can still have this moment of needing that catharsis, that relief, that release of rage. And so my rage, it felt like fire breathing, just burning it all down. So my suggestion to you is just to be open and warn your husband and your daughter of, I need some space so I can truly, truly just purge the past. And it might take some rage, and I just want you all to be, safe from that. And then do whatever you have to do. If you have to start journaling, write down the things maybe you haven't wanted to write. Let your anger, let your grief, let your mourning, let this whole shit just come out and be purged and released. And know that you are protected by the divine as you do this. And it could be a really, really important step, because that could take you to the next step. You can't bring the past with you, so you can burn it down with rage and anger. And it's an incredibly powerful, even if it's scary, it's an incredibly powerful thing to do. It's like exorcising your own demons. That rage is like exorcising the demons. And you're not carrying around demons just of your own, but of your father's, which all of this is coming out of the miscarriage. This would be a great time for you, dear sister, to use this miscarriage to admit your true feelings to yourself. As I'm reading through your email, I'm like, holy shit, look at all this stuff she's had to endure, and what the fuck. So, you know what? It's okay for the human you to be really fucking pissed about it. So allow yourself a safe place to let it all come out, and then it won't keep coming out in other ways. It won't keep coming out in repressed ways. I have a feeling, dear sister, if you can allow yourself to purge all of this, those torturous thoughts of yours would go away instantly, because this really is the time of instant healings and instant miracles. And with the divine surrounding you and loving you and protecting you, you can experience these massive healings and miracles right away. I also want to tell you that your daughter has been surrounded by protection as you've been battling these thoughts. She hasn't been affected by them. She came in very self-possessed, knowing exactly what she came here to do, helping to hold you, helping to heal you. She knew that her part was to be a little healer to my mother, who is also an amazing healer. So she is surrounded and protected as you are going through this inner struggle. So I just want to alleviate you of any guilt about that, none to be had. You are innocent, guilty of nothing. You are innocent, guilty of nothing. So, dear sister, I urge you, use the rest of this miscarriage as everything is coming out of you physically to also just get it out of you mentally and emotionally. Huge here. And after you get it all out, you know what? Just lie on the floor. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to surrender fully to the Divine Mother. Lie on the floor and say, Divine Mother, I don't know what it looks like, but I fully surrender myself to you right now. I am all yours. Redo this life. Recreate it according to your plan and your love. Dear sister, the miracles will happen. I promise. I promise. Okay. So admit your true feelings to yourself. Um, I don't know what this card means. Sometimes I know what it means, sometimes I don't. Hold on. Who is it? Okay, my littlest needs help. Just hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Yes, I do this from bed. Okay. Yes. I'll be right with you, dear sister.
Hi.
Hi, that's Kai. He just turned 6. No, he's 6.5. Okay. I'm sorry, Becky. I'll be right with you. Okay.
Thanks.
Wait till I'm done talking to tell me you're done, okay? Okay, so do some research. For you, I'm not really sure what that means. You know, sometimes it means like a book recommendation or, you know, looking into something. Um, do some research. Maybe just researching, you know, the ultimate divine surrender. What does that mean to you? Uh, it's just be open. If something comes up for you and you're wondering more about it, just Google it and look it up. If anything I says is piquing your interest, then Google it and you know, look it up. And you know, maybe look at my video on Lauren's site. I don't know where it is on that page. I think I posted it about a week ago. And that'll just give you my update and tell you a little bit about what you can expect when you do this divine surrender. So as you do this, sister, this really is about you being healed. And as you are healed and as you step into this divine role, you're going to notice that your marriage is going to go through some upgrades. I pull this maybe every single reading I do. As you are healed, your husband will not be as fearful as trying again. And I wouldn't even say go ahead and try again. When I pull that card, it's more about turning away from the trying to conceive and more turning towards, you know, just making love for the sake of connection. So as you're turning to the divine, there's not going to have to be a trying to conceive. The baby will come in naturally, organically, and beautifully and consciously. And your husband, as he sees these changes in you, he will be much less fearful. So you don't have to worry so much about changing his fears or changing his outlook. That will happen naturally as you change, as he sees you changing. And you are about to change, dear sister, and all this stuff is just going to be put to rest for you. Okay, so with affirmations are so important because we can use them to rewire our brain. And so, you know, I have experienced a death of the monkey mind and been melded with the divine mind. And with that, every thought is an affirmation. Instead of a worry, it's a surrender. And, you know, I still have to call in the law of forgiveness for miscreations because it's habit now. But we will still miscreate. But when we call in the law of forgiveness, that it can be neutralized and switched right away. So I'm just going to give you a little affirmation to use. Like if your husband is talking about things that he's afraid of, you don't have to try and convince him of anything else. So you can just silently say to yourself, I call in the law of forgiveness. I forgive this miscreation. I surrender this to the Divine Mother. You can surrender your husband's fears to the Divine Mother as well, and she will reshape them. This stuff works so fast right now, dear sister. This is the time that we've been waiting for. The instant manifestation, the instant turnaround. The divine really just wants to restore us and recreate for us our hologram. You know, we talk about holograms on Lauren's site. Now it's time for the happy hologram. And she wants to do this for us even more. She's more willing to give to us than we are to ask of her. So use the law of forgiveness at any time. If a thought comes up that's torturous to you, I call on the law of forgiveness. I forgive this miscreation. I am innocent, guilty of nothing. Divine Mother, I surrender these thoughts to you. I know they're not real, only love is real. This is really about not focusing on healing the past at all. It's focusing on what is real, and that is only love. That is only the Divine Mother. It's only our source with her and relationship with her that is real. So use a lot of these affirmations I've been giving you. The law of forgiveness for whenever you have a fear, whenever anyone has a fear. And just surrender it over. So I do that all the time, and the results seriously are jaw-dropping. Absolutely jaw-dropping. So one more thing I want to talk about, sister, and then I will look at your questions once more. But as you're doing this, as you're stepping more into the divine, and I really do hope you do the Divine Mother activation with me, because it'll change your life. But your role is going to be expanding in ways that you can't foresee. You play the harp, which is so angelic of you. And it's the reason you chose the harp, because it reminds you of the kingdom of heaven, where you truly are, where you truly reside. So your harp is your connection to that. I asked you if you sang because I woke up seeing you having an awakened voice. I have a friend who plays harp and has an awakened voice, and it is the most heavenly voice I have ever heard. And that is going to happen with you as you set yourself onto this divine path, nestled in the arms of the Divine Mother. I can see you having this awakened voice that reminds people of who they are and where they came from. And it's going to be so joyful for you as you step into that. I see you singing this baby into creation. So I don't know, there's something really true and beautiful waiting for you there. So with your harp and with your awakened voice, you're becoming a pure conduit for the divine voice. So, we're going to say these affirmations, and know that as I say them for you, they instantly come in, and you just integrate them, take them, and accept them. So let's just close our eyes and say, Divine Mother, I now surrender to you my mind, my body, my thoughts, my children, my marriage, my purpose, and all of my life. I surrender it all to you, for you to recreate according to your divine love and your divine plan. Let me fulfill your highest vision for me in joyful and ecstatic ways that I can't even imagine. Dear sister, I am so excited for you, because I know where you're headed. I know where you're headed, and all this trauma will have nothing to do with it. So I'm just going to read through your emails again and say how important that this miscarriage is for you right now, that it's just letting it all out. You won't have to suffer a traumatic birth again. And you won't have these fears and torturous thoughts again. And everything you have in your uterus with your fibro and all of that stuff, all the challenges of mothering will truly dissolve as you acquire the divine mind. So, dear sister, I hope what I said about you maybe having 2 more children isn't scary right now. Don't worry about it right now, because it will come apart. It will come easily and joyfully. This really is about you. This really is about you. I know I haven't talked a lot about the spirit babies, because the spirit babies know where you're headed, where you're headed and where you are right now. So they are totally super supporting you. And they want to thank you for doing this heavy lifting, dear sister. You're playing such a pivotal role in the generations because you're not only stopping the cycle of abuse, but you're going into a whole nother realm of parenting. Guilt-free parenting, dear sister. Can you imagine what that looks like? I'm beginning to get a taste, and it is so delicious. It is so delicious. So, such gratitude from your spirit babies and from your daughter, because I can feel the gratitude of the daughter you have right now as well. So they're so proud of you, and they know how strong you are, and they just want to honor you for being an amazing, amazing, amazing soul. It would take a very strong soul to agree to come here to experience what you've experienced. But now it's over. Okay, so I'm just summing up. This is the end of the reading. It's over now, dear sister. You can truly put it behind you. Use the rest of this miscarriage to let it all come out, including those big, scary feelings you might have not let yourself have. Call in the Divine Mother and surrender to her fully, even if you don't know what it looks like, because your purpose now is fully with her. Your healing, your miracles, your easy pregnancies and birth and mothering, it's all right there for you. Your new true life. You don't have to suffer these symptoms anymore, not even in the name of ascension. I can see some people maybe getting stuck on the ascension stepping stone, but it is just a stepping stone. It's pointing us where we're supposed to go, and we're supposed to go right here into our divine hearts, where we meet the Divine Mother. And that's what you're going to do right now. So I know this reading is probably not what you expected, but if you give yourself fully to it, it will be more than you expected. So that's why I was so excited to hear from you and to read through all this and understand that it's over, dear sister. It's over. There is so much here for you. And I cannot wait to see what's on tap next. So I'm going to send you the healing of your traumatic birth. And if you're interested in the Divine Mother activation, let me know, and I'll put you on the list of those who want to be of the next part of it. It's a lot of what I've been saying, and now you're going to have a head start, but it solidifies it, and it helps with the shifts, and it helps keep you on track of the divine mind as the monkey mind dies away. My parting words, dear sister, are you are innocent, guilty of nothing, and you are so, so, so loved. Thank you for letting me do this. Keep me posted. I love you.